going back to the question of
being honest.
Does he make us honest? I think when we say about social networks generally that do ask a question like that, I think it's wrong to treat them all the same because it depends how you design them. And little changes, I think, for example, Facebook found where little changes in how you treat privacy can dramatically affect the way the social network works. The fact that eBay works isn't because they handle money really well or they allow you to advertise your products really well. It's because they threw in their reputation-based system for whether you can trust the other person, and it happened to be a reputation-based system which worked. Other sites like I won't mention particular ones, but other sites in which people tweet about or give information about what they particularly think on the about what's just happened, where there is a reputation-based systems and people can push the messages up and down, they don't work. And there's still it's still generally those sites. When you go there, you find as much garbage as there is useful stuff, and it's not worth going there. And it turns out that really small changes in the way you design the interaction system, where you design these social machinery, like the voting systems. JP said, yeah, we've got voting systems out there. Well, we've had voting systems, but in fact, what sort of voting systems are going to work on a social network which breaks across countries? And what sort of mandate should we give those, and how can we design them? And actually, can we think of something better than voting? I think we've been using democracy because there's been nothing better, as Winston Churchill said, for years and years and years. On social networks, every new social network we got a chance to redesign the way we actually make decisions together, the way we collectively decide what's true. And I hope we're really at the beginning of that path. And each of the social networks we've got at the moment is just an experiment. And I hope we find some really effective ways so that the crowd becomes very much more reliable. I can put much more trust in it.
So Tim, you created the web. So how do you feel about this third?
I invented it. One person, there was a guy sent me email and I called him back because he was really mad. Right? He said I'd been creating the web. Because he said, how could you say you created the web? You couldn't possibly have written all that stuff.
I said it. But what do you think about the third question then? Is what do you think we should do in institutions to make social networks? To make sure that they improve the world instead of making it.
Well, actually, I think we have to study. For example, we're suggesting that people should study the web as a scientific discipline because nobody is studying it. So we need people studying social networks who combine some psychology and some anthropology and the computer science which will allow them to build a really new fancy system. So we need to study web science and look at what the things that we've got and really analyze how a meme spreads. I think it's fascinating how a meme spreads across Twitter. And we need to do it because we need to build better systems, but also we need to analyze it because we need to figure out whether the social networking system that we've built now is actually unstable. If somebody thought of a really good conspiracy theory, which said, don't believe all the people at the World Economic Forum, don't believe anybody that you see, anything you hear on the news, and don't believe any of these bloggers, but, do go and do something very disruptive on the 13th. Then how do we know, we don't know how the system works, we haven't analyzed how those, so maybe the whole thing could be like an unstable stock exchange. We've got our unstable, we could have an unstable idea exchange out there unless we think about it, just like we have to analyze the stock exchange.
Very interesting. Thank you.